All right, welcome to the Nautiloid Enjoyers Guide to a full full Gloomstalker run. This is going to be a complete run, starting in Act 1, obviously. And we're just going to take you through bit by bit, each fight, each interaction, so you can kind of have a one-to-one when you're trying to attempt a solo run.
Yeah, we've opted for a dual commentary, just to be a bit different. We're completely winging this. Hopefully it lands.
Yeah, it'd be also easier as well. Yeah, it'd be to see. It'd be like I couldn't imagine doing one of these by yourself. It'd be a
Oh mate,
grueler.
yeah, that sounds painful. Yeah, as
It'd
you
be
can tell,
grim.
we're not great with the whole recording thing. We're still new to it, but this
Yeah.
is where we're going. Um,
Right. You play
so
High Elf, don't you? Or Wood Elf? Straight
I
Wood Elf?
do normally play Wood Elf, but I played half Wood Elf this time, and I regretted it immediately because you don't get the perception proficiency as standard.
Ah,
So
right. Ah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I think I was just doing different things. We would recommend that you have the definitive solo honor mode guide up alongside this, so you can see what we're saying being put into practice. So on that guide, you can see as I'm basically making the character. We'll take you from literally character conception to beating the brain. So you can see Wood Elf picking my proficiencies. I realise perception's not there to have, which is
Yeah.
well, not a big mistake, but one
It's
of
about
the
it's about the same though, isn't it? Like half Wood
yeah.
Elf and Wood Elf. I don't honestly. I just know. I think I literally just read like half Wood Elf's better because move speed, and then I just stuck with that the entire time, unless I want to specifically be Gith for something.
Yeah. You'll also notice that whether I'm half elf or full Wood Elf, I'll always make my character look like a drow because drow are just objectively cooler.
Yeah, yeah. I do the exact same as well. I do the exact same thing. We've got that's why I like the faces mod because then that's I can look like the Drow face because all the normal elf faces are too soft. It's
Yeah.
too
They don't look
soft.
like hardened warriors.
No, no, they don't.
Um,
Definitely not.
so on the back of that, we've got some of you'll notice my UI is a little bit different. I'm playing on controller. That's the first big
Yeah.
thing. Make jokes about it all you want. That's what I like. You can see I've got like actual numerical values on the sliders. So I believe I've got the new faces mod on, so we can have good strong jaw lines on the half elves. We've also got a few UI mods. The main ones that we've got is we've got a respec mod. We'll have all this in the description to be read, but we've got a respec mod on because who can be bothered going back, talking to withers, and then pickpocketing
Yeah,
things?
it's just a spell. Just a
Yeah,
spell. It's
we
handed.
won't abuse it to get spell slots back though. Like that's worth saying. Um,
Yeah. The only time we respec is when it's an actual respec, not I don't want a long rest.
yeah, yeah, and then there's
Yeah.
also um, we've got a movement speed mod on because I don't know how many of you out there have not played with a movement speed mod, but it's painful.
Yeah,
Um,
by moving speed, it's just out of combat and also not including sneak, so you just
yeah,
walk around the map a bit faster.
yeah, you
So it does
sneak
that. And
at normal speed, yeah.
yeah. The only other two main ones, other than like UI mod and stuff like that, is the carry weight extra mod
Mm-hmm.
and the gold vendors. The vendors have more gold, and that's just so you can sell everything in a wanna rather than having to ferry. Because you'll probably see it. I know I do as well. I loot everything.
Yeah, same.
I loot
Yeah,
everything. Like I'm loot. If it's worth 1 gold, I'm usually looting it unless it's like excessive amounts because you just get loads of gold. So it's just a case of like you don't get over encumbered by all the crap you've got. You don't have to ferry back and forth to vendors, and you just sell it all at once, just for time saves.
yeah,
So
it's
those
just a
mods that we've
quality
got
of
on are
life.
purely for time savers. There's nothing that's really affecting balance.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's off the back of the picking everything up. We mention it in the guide, but there's a reason everyone's naked because all of those clothes is worth money.
yeah,
Especially at the start of the game,
yeah.
you want to get your crow brain engaged and get everything looted
Aye.
because just you will have enough money, but obviously if you're not looting as much as you should be, you'll notice like at points where we're saying buy X, you should have enough money for
Yeah.
it.
To be fair, we are probably excessive because we're like when you've like, and other people will do this because the amount of like forks and cups that I've sold is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
And like they are worth gold, but like even just 40 of them, and over the course of Aquan or something, like it's only 40 gold.
Yeah, but it's I mean 40 gold at this point. That's it's
To me,
contributing to
yeah.
skulls, it's potions,
To
it's
to
food.
me, it's like the excessiveness is a lot of it is just the initial buy, like the like. when you're gonna buy Whispering Promise and some potions, and then you can't afford like to have a fucking cheeky invis in the back pocket just in case you are gonna 100% die, then you bail. Um, but like, yeah, it is handy to have those little things. But I also just don't like leaving things on the ground, especially at the Grove. I like to scrounge everything at the Grove.
Yeah, gobble brain. Right, so we've got us. That happened. We're in the first imp fight. We normally jump Lae'zel down that chasm because we like to do true solo. If
Yeah,
it
knowing
doesn't come,
combat
yeah,
is
if it doesn't come from your bars, we don't want to
yeah,
mess about
generally
with it.
speaking. Yeah, so you no the main part of that is no campcasters. That's just the main
Yeah,
part.
that's the big one.
So no. If you don't know what that is, it's just someone you get someone in your party. They'll cast something like Protection from Evil and Good, and then you'll leave them out the party, but the buff will remain, but they won't be there to risk losing it. So you can stack them. So there's none of that because for us that breaks the solo rule. Even although they're not actively in combat, their effects and bonuses given to you are like you're directly benefiting from a companion or someone like Glut with the gut and Glut kind of cheese. You directly benefit from it, so it breaks the solo rule for us.
Yeah, not big fans of it.
Not big
Um,
fans.
so as you can see, we've got the 2 short swords on at the moment because we don't have a shield yet. We haven't got chart. Stealing Lae'zel's stuff. Highly recommend wearing her armor and boots because it's 17 AC straight away, which is fairly strong. We got lucky as well. Got a first speed potion on one of the bodies. It's not the end of the world if you don't get speed potions, but I think the most we've had at this point is like 3 maybes getting towards the group fight.
Yeah. It's whether you get the roll to get the chest, isn't it? Because that's always got some in. The chest near Astarion when you go down left from the cliff. There's a little chest there, and if you don't get the survival roll, you don't get the chain.
Yeah, there's those ones. You can get there. You've got
Yeah.
more chance to get them off Mind Flayer bodies and such.
Yeah. You can be nice.
Yeah.
You're not always
So,
going to get them.
You can press the buttons here and wake those dudes up, or you can just execute them on the benches.
The spot.
Which is, why would you wake them
A
up?
good thing. A good thing you're in. Or do you have us?
Yeah, we got us. I prefer to leave us. I don't take us through us at this point.
I he's side by side for me.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say, chances are people are gonna take us. So if you tell us to wait, like we have here, but like just in the other room, like near one of the door either the door you enter by or the door you're gonna finally leave by, tell them to go wait, and then you can kill this brain boy. Because if you attack it while us is with you, at least it always seems to do that unless it's changing past shape, but I can't see why it would. Us will then attack you. But you also don't want to tell him to wait next to Shadowheart because then he'll perpetually and eternally try and attack Shadowheart in the pod.
Yeah.
Because she's in the pod, she can't die, and so you either have to leave them or kill him. So don't do that.
I think it's if you don't squish him. If you don't squish
Maybe
him, that's when he kicks
never-
off when you kill that other brain boy.
Never
you wanna-
squished him. So
Yeah, you want to leave him after you've climbed the webbing. Leave him in that sort of area before the door. But I just like to leave him at the start because that's just how I roll. I think I don't even remember why now. It's just habit. Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot the reason. It's just in there.
Habit at this point. It's just in the muscle memory. We've picked up Shadowheart purely for the experience and obviously the stuff. You'll notice I haven't switched to the shield just yet because it's way better for this next fight to have that extra bonus action to clip the imps or the boars.
Yeah.
It's a little sneaky thing you can do here, which is I'm just organizing my bars here, clearing that oath spells off. Don't use that. I don't think I did it there, but you can if you pause combat and dash before that door, and then use the door, the cutscene refreshes your action, so you've got the extra movement speed with dash if you want to use that.
Yeah, you can stack it and all if you really want to.
I think this is me turning the nakedness off.
You see?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I've started leaving clothes on my guys. I've just got sick of seeing naked people because the actual when you put the setting on to cover it up, it might as well not be there.
Yeah,
it's like paper thin and skin tight. You know what I mean? It's like I can still see the boobs.
Yeah. Yeah,
I can
there's not
still
enough.
see that guy's balls. Like, you know what I mean?
There's
Well, you
not much
actually
left of
can't.
the
I mean,
imagination.
it doesn't
Yeah.
count for that one, to be fair. But it just looks funny. It just because at a glance, they're just naked again.
Yeah. I will point out I do have a light crossbow, which is better than the short bow, and I haven't switched to it. One thing
Yeah.
that people will probably pick up on is we're very good at like giving tactics and then fairly shit at following that advice ourselves.
Yeah. 100%. If you ever watch the live stream, that's definitely 100% apparent. You know what I mean? We get the runs done, but like,
Yeah,
it
I don't
gets
think I
close.
start like I genuinely don't think I start regularly proc and blessed for a while. Like I do a few
Oh man, I
fights where I
forget
just
about
haven't
all
done
the
it.
time. I mean, I've made guides with me not doing it in them. You
Yeah,
know? Got raspberries sitting there to proc it for free, and I'm like, just hit it. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
We'll just pull the trigger on this.
Just pull the trigger, you'll be fine.
Advice for this fight is because we don't have Shadowheart and we're not forcing Zalk to drop his sword, that Mind Flare, I mean, I get pretty good, like, that's pretty good luck for the Mind Flare stunning him on the first turn.
Yeah.
If you don't get that, he's, it's not the end of the world, but prioritize the imps here because the imps are worth 10 XP, whereas the boars are worth 3.
Yeah. Generally, just keep moving as well.
Yeah,
Just keep moving.
this is not a
Don't waste
standing
your
fight.
time.
Yeah, this is a situation where whatever you can get is helpful, but the most important thing is to get up to the console and get yourself out of there. Depending
Yeah.
on where the Mind Flayer's health is, you can maybe land a shot into him and kill him and get the XP, but remember that obviously Zalk's going to come for you, and he can fly as well. He can cross over to the console in a turn if he's got the right actions left.
Yeah.
Siege.
This is one of those areas where some people just score right to the end, but we like the XP. It's nice to get that level 3 ASAP. Especially to start to heading out of the grove as well. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Is that sometimes you'll just get bad rolls and then Zalk will kill you. Like that, that's gonna happen. Like it won't happen often if you're pushing it, if you're playing it right. But like especially to kill them all, if you're really pushing it, like sometimes it'll be close. Sometimes he might get a swing at you.
Oh yeah. I mean, realistically, I've got 12 HP and he's hitting that Mind Flare for an average of 14 with the,
It's
the
gotta
fire
be.
on the sword. You don't want to get clipped by Zalk, man.
Yeah.
You don't want to roll that dice.
That's maybe why I like Uz as well, because in moments like, well, Uz clears faster, but also he can be a buffer zone because each time Zalk's running him, he's always missed once. So it's like he can tech like one. He can tech one good one, I think, with his HP.
I've shown some strats that, I wouldn't usually condone throughout the playthrough, and then also I'm trying to minimize. So like realistically, you can have us in this fight, and it does help a lot. But I'm proving here that you don't.
Yeah.
So for those people who don't manage to save him, you don't want to. You don't have to restart the game. You can deal without it.
Yeah.
But
I do, man.
He is good. Oh yeah, it's a cursed run if you don't have us. But if
you
if
need
can't
us.
be asked to restart.
So in other words, if you don't get us, restart your game.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing about us is having him later on in the game. He is very helpful when after you grab him for Act 2.
It's just cool. They're just cool as well. We just want those.
Yeah.
You've got 2 balls in you up here, Jesus.
Yeah, mate, they're only 6 XP. I'm not bothering. I'll make that up later with the spiders.
Aye, yeah.
It's worth mentioning that we picked up Shadowheart. Spoke to her just to get that XP again. Send her on her way. I also get Shadowheart to get the 3rd Intellect Devourer, because that's 15 XP off the Intellect
I was going to say that just a little bit.
Yeah, because if you don't pick up Shadowheart, the game compensates by only putting 2 Intellect Devourers there, because obviously she's the only companion you can get at this point, which means that you will be soloing against those 2 if you don't pick her up, where you would be soloing against 3, but I've picked her up and then I fuck her off so that I get the 3 to begin with.
To be fair, even if you're not playing solos and watching this, here's a little tip that it probably get less XP. But if you let Lae'zel die in that fight before you actually escape the brain, or like she's there, you can revive her here. You can revive her here, which is so if you are just playing with normal parties, but you're watching this, and you want just a little bit of, I mean, you can speedrun there, but just to immediately kill the mind flayers to save you backtracking, you can just get her there that way.
Yeah. So I hope I level up here. I don't think I do. Casually taking on 3 Intellect Devourers at level 1.
Yeah. A good thing though is always sneak around there like he was just doing, because the run back. I mean, you can use an explosive. The ghost down here an explosive, so you kind of got that there as well. But I just like getting the guaranteed surprise and the two of them right next to each other because you can potentially take both of them out before the third one starts running at you.
Yeah. Level 2's not that exciting for you. You want to take Long Strider, you want to take Enhanced Sleep, you want to take Archery as your passive, your fighting style. You see me organising my bars there. It's Long Strider, mandatory. You see there, I've instantly put it on. There'll probably be times where I forget to do it after a long rest. You know, it's not the end of the world. And Enhanced Leap is a very, very
Yeah.
handy passive spell.
Remember the cast enhanced sleep like before combat's probably is vastly more important than long strider as well.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
focus on remembering that one.
So I've triggered these guys off to group them up away because there's the surprise round. And then that means that I can kite them all. You can take the two when they're at that sort of area and then have the other one run towards you. But what it essentially means is that after you're surprised, because I've got unlucky with, yeah, well, I've got unlucky with my roll there. So if so two of them would have had a crack at me there rather than them all having to dash. So this is, the first thing that we say, and we're putting it into practice is forcing dashes out of those melee enemies. Well, they've got ranged attack.
Especially his range. Yeah, forcing dashes out of them is like really underrated. Like I think we've said before, it's like I think it's you wrote it in the guide. It's like if you don't need to give up a bad position just so you can hit someone.
No, absolutely not.
Like just if you can't hit anybody, but your position's good, if you got high ground and they've got a long way around or they can't jump up to you too easily, like just stay there until they're right on you and then jump away.
Yeah, I would be wary of. Where's the first synaptic? I would be wary of using stealth in those situations because sometimes it stops them from coming towards you.
Yeah, I have to just stand there.
Yeah, just stand there and take it. Really. You see it. You'll notice I used the when you start as a ranger, you get an ice arrow for free. Use that one there because I kind of needed one of those dead fairly quickly. Like it's entirely possible to die here. Entirely possible.
Yeah. You just got such low HP.
Yeah, I probably should have waited there to use that. But as you can see, using the terrain, making sure I get around that corner. So he's got a dash. I'm not sure if the angle. I think he does get a shot. Oh, no, I pulled it off.
No, yes, the dash.
Yeah, there it is. So the wouldn't usually advocate for melee, but this is while we've got double short swords. There you go. That's the double hit. So pushing them once they're close to you, if it's the last enemy, is usually a good shout at this point.
Yeah.
There we go. Almost 50% health me, but we're good to go. We'd probably go to the tomb now.
Yeah, and even if you are melee, I was gonna say if you are melee, you're gonna have to you're gonna be getting hit by them. Even if you are using two weapons, it's probably better to just main hand and pop a potion and just use a few early potions because you'll get loads of them. So don't if you looting, generally if you're looting a lot, which we recommend because you get more gold again, loot loads, keep looting everything, and then add literally every time I go to the vendor, I buy up their potion stocks, their health pots, I buy them all, and then if you got depending on how much you've got, you might be able to okay, I'll buy that I can buy that speed pot or I can buy that whatever, you can kind of splurge, but you want to be the first things you buy, just as a general rule, is just health potions because then you can be really liberal with them, and then you can be healing for gear and rather than to health and stuff like that. You don't want to have to be conservative with your health potions. If you for any point you have to hold back on your health potions, then you maybe need to slow the run down a little bit and just get some gold and keep yourself stocked up and prepared for it going west because it will go west.
It's one of those things where it just pays to be prepared. And
yeah, you're never going to get a perfect run. You're always eventually you're just going to get unlucky and a couple of things are going to crit you and it's going to hurt and you're going to have to go shell mode and just kind of wall up and defend. And you want to be able to, in that moment, just dump your best things possible without thinking, can I afford to use them?
You don't ever really want to have to make a decision between fleeing or healing because if you're trying to run away with next to no health, something clips you and you don't get far enough. It's game over.
You want to do both.
For anyone with the deluxe edition or the enhanced edition upgrade, whatever it is, you get your little bag of loot, you get your items from Divinity 2. that's where I'm getting this first strength potion from. Obviously, if you don't have this, the first time you get your strength potions is when you meet Auntie Ethel. But either way, you want to get this nature check so you can move this rock, and then you want the hill giant strength to actually have the strength to move it. If you don't get that nature roll, you can grab Astarion, you can grab Gale, you can bring Lae'zel and Shadowheart if you've got them to see if they get it. That chest, as we mentioned before, does have between 1 and 3 guaranteed speed potions in it. I got 2 there. It's handy to have. It's nice to have a stock of those potions for when you need them. We're not even at the Grove fight yet, and we got 3. You know, that's already a good start.
One thing to note as well about because we are technically playing these solos with rules, and we've discussed that a bit more. And we'll probably mention that along as the run goes by, but we use strength pots way more liberally than other people because we aren't using the exploit to get out of the lethargic. So like we're not stacking them for bosses, so you can be perpetually hasted. Some people are just going to do that, but I also always present this to people. If you're going to start using strength speed pots and using the exploit to get around the lethargic mechanic, you are sacrificing your bonus action or part of a throw action, and it's like, because then you're committing to them. You're committing to having to use speed pots, and if that can go south, because sometimes you might need to go in super heal mode, but you're going to go lethargic, so you're going to have to do not as much healing, and then to deny the lethargic, and you can kind of get stuck in a cycle of if I go lethargic, I'm dead, but I have to. You can just don't do it.
Yeah,
just don't
I'm using
do it.
my bonus action to proc this potion, and I have to throw another healing potion at my feet. So I've stuck myself using 66% of my shit just
and now
going lethargic, and now all I've really done is got myself an extra attack. Like that's it.
It's not worth it. You're better off just saving them and just being smart. Like either using them to get out of a bad situation, if you think you can kill in the 3 turns, or just use them to end a boss or end a fight quicker.
You'll notice we've got the 2 inspiration points. You can cut Gale's hand off, but we don't recommend it because keeping Gale fed with the magic items allows Elminster to spawn between Act 1 and 2, and you'll see it later on where we boot his what's the word? Construct. Boot his construct into the chasm because my man's level 20 and worth 1,000 XP. It's just a nice chunk of change for you, really. So it's worth keeping Gale alive just for that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's also all right if he isn't, because although you delay level 8, because we're usually level 10 for Merkel and level 8, usually just after getting into Act 2 or right before with that extra XP, it's like you're delaying level 8 for a few fights, but it's not going to screw you for Merkel. So it's like if you don't get the rolls, or if you do want to chop off his hand or out like that, it's like you can do that. It's not going to screw you over. It's just nice to have.
So with this fight, you can see the angle of approach that I came in through. You can get the angle to shoot that block and take out those 2 dudes. That mage lady, there's a reason I've stuck the poisoned on, because obviously it debuffs them. That mage lady, if she gets an ice knife crit on you, you're dead. She's
one shot.
She is scary. Yeah, I thought I was safe here. He gets a sneaky angle on me and hits me with that acid. If that acid had hit me there, I would have also been dead. Learn from my mistake. Take better cover. As well, as I say, that's why I've fired the poison on here, because if these 2 guys crit you, that's you run over.
You've just got no HP at this point.
Yeah, you back to the Nautiloid instantly. You're on the back foot running away, healing at best. You're back to the first. Again, you can see I'm trading arrows with this guy, and then I remember that if I get in melee, I'll have essentially 2 attacks. So there's no harm in pushing them at the moment. While everyone's weaker.
This might apply to you as well, because some people might say, why are you doing these guys now? I think you're the same, Kieran. Is like, we generally like to clear sections of the map as we naturally progress through the game. Generally speaking, because stuff gets forgotten about when you go back from Underdark to Act 1, but we don't, in this, we're not flitting between Act 1 and 2. When we're heading to Act 1, it's when when we're heading to like Crash, it's when everything in Act 1 is dead, and then it's Crash, and then we'll only go to Act 2 once Crash is fully cleared. So which people do what they want, but this is how we did this. This is how we do these runs.
Yeah, you'll notice.
So that's
as
why
well.
we're doing some things. What might be, we'll do some things that a lot of people might consider early.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean,
we're not waiting to do Goblin Camp. We are and stuff like that. We are kind of just naturally cracking through them.
like, so this is a good example. I've taken out those guys purely because you can cut 50% of the target down with that one shot on the block. If you pick this lock, you don't have to do the speech check, and then you can get into this guy. He's automatically surprised. I get kind of ripped off with this run here as well. Another thing to note, you'll notice that I've got my melee weapons out because as he runs away, that'll trigger the opportunity attack. If I've got my bow out, it won't. I get ripped off here again. Essentially, you can take this guy out. So next turn he absolutely opens that he opens that door with that lever, and everyone else comes pouring out. If that happens, leave. You will notice. Yeah, you will notice that this guy can be killed just for that extra XP to try and get level 3 before we leave the grove. And obviously there's the stuff to loot in to sell to the vendors, but I'm not going through that door at this point. So we're coming up with a big grove fight. I've heard through the grapevine that some people skip this. Not a fan of that. This is where I'm putting my shield on. So as I said before, with Lazel's armor, we've got 17 AC. We've now got 19 with the shield. You're about to see that still isn't foolproof, but it's worth doing now as well. The reason I've got the rapier is because it's simply the best one-handed weapon I've got that goes off dexterity. I know my strength is up at the moment, but it's also the best sort of weapon that you've got that you can have in one hand. So I'm just trying to maximize that damage potential if I do need to use it.
And I'll say for this fight as well. If you got rocked,
Mate, I took 16 damage there. This is exactly what we're talking.
Yeah.
So this is a fairly bad start to this growth.
You got a bad initiative. It's initiative defending this one. Like,
you want Zevlor to be fairly high up in the queue because he blows that horn and gets that rallied on. You'll notice though with these gobbos, because they've only got bows and they don't have any melee weapons, you can move in and out of their zone freely. You can also see I'm stepping out, shooting him because that's the most damage I'm going to be able to do, and then I'm standing next to him with my rapier and shield out, so if he does decide to move, I'll get the opportunity attack. They do have a bonus action disengage though, I think, but it's just
and they can repeatedly use it. They can repeatedly use it, unlike the one we get access to.
And
then they shoot you.
Just get used to having. If you're ever in a situation where you know something's going to try and make a move, just get into the habit of pulling your melee weapon out and making sure you get that opportunity attack. It's free damage.
Good thing to know for this fight as well. It's like a cheeky little, like it's a min max for your only first roll. But if you are playing a class with minor illusion, if you go the hill leading up to where we were just stood, if you go to the back left of it and minor illusion the rock, cast minor illusion on the rock on that hill, it starts the fight without you. So then you can get your first initial shot with advantage, but that's all you're getting from it. So it's like, but if you want to try and min max it, you can do that.
Yeah.
Because then you can get a shot on that top range gobbo and potentially kill them outright to avoid the 2-tap. But if you don't have minor illusion, just ignore everything I just said.
Yeah.
If you're on most classes, ignore that.
So that gobbo's down. It is worth noting that those initial shots from those gobbos, they do usually use the Fury of the Small on it. I'm not sure if it procs if they miss. I don't know if they get to use it again and it has to be a hit. I don't know. I just don't want to get hit by you. Yeah, you don't want to get hit by that, man. You just seen me take 16 points of damage. That's me nearly dead. Obviously, if the rallied was up, that would have meant that, that the rallied's gone because they both hit me for 8. But it's less. I would still heal, but at this point, when you can get anywhere between 1 and 10 health points, you don't want to drink a potion and get 2 HP because that just feels bad.
Yeah. Furious Small is once per combat, by the way.
Is it? So even if they proc it, that's good.
Yeah, so it's all that. So
for melee classes, you'll obviously have to get amongst it. For 4-man parties, this won't be as scary of a fight. That bugbear is one of the big threats Zakrug as well. I think that's the right goblin. He's a big
Yeah, he's
threat
got
as
a bit
well
of power.
because yeah, he gets 2 attacks. The second one's made at disadvantage, but it's still not worth going toe to toe with them, especially even if you're a melee character, man. You kind of want
Yeah,
to
I'll
hit
hold
them in the
off
back.
a few times if I've got like, because usually I've if 16 dex, so I get strength from the pot. I'll opt for the bow, like, because I don't want to get hit by the bugbear. And like it can be RNG. Like the worst one I had was where one of the mercenaries and Will died on turn one. So it's sometimes it's just yeah, it was brutal. I was live streaming some. I can't remember who it was in chat that was like, that is the worst growth fight I've ever seen. I'm like, yeah, bro. No, same, same.
In an
Um,
ideal world, you do want Aradin and the other guys to survive because you don't want to start shooting them in this combat because the Grove will be mad at you. But later on, you'll see it when they're on the bridge outside the Gobbo camp. We just take them out because it's free XP. Obviously, the bow lady is usually a casualty because the Krug pretty much laser beams on her every fight. And the dude with the shield normally gets overwhelmed, as you saw there, by the Warg and the other Gobbos. Aradin usually comes out of it alive. But in an ideal world, all 3 of them will survive. But as I said, this wasn't a great start. Like the initial
yeah.
rolls were bad. People took some serious damage quite early.
And for anyone that might rightfully so be saying, why don't you leave Aradin alive? Because he's got like a story stuff in Act 3. We don't care about story anymore. We just care about XP and dropping bosses.
Yeah. I
Like,
believe the
I'm,
technical terms murder hobo in it, but I mean,
yeah,
just call it
yeah,
playing the game.
we have become pure murder hobos, so we don't care. Like, it's not about the story; it's about doing runs. You know what I mean?
Well, you can see there as well. I've got the Absolute Bane gloves. I mean, if you read the small print, the bit that applies Bane doesn't actually work until you get the Absolute brand. We mentioned this in the guide, but you know, some
You sure about
read
that?
all that shit. Yeah, I swear to you.
I, 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 I might push you on that one. Hold on. Think.
You get the sleight of hand +1, but it's the Bane application on the attack, so you've got to have the Absolute brand for it to proc.
Which absolute buff am I thinking of? Because there's one isn't the one that doesn't require brand.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Quite
It's one of
possibly.
them. I'm thinking of the gloves. Anyway. I'm thinking of the gloves, but it's something else.
You were seen vandalizing someone else's property. Now would be a good
Which you're gonna get the
time
brand
to
anyway.
justify your
Yeah.
actions.
Well, from here on, we'll just pop onto the Grove, get all the quests, talk to Aradin, and watch him get sparked out, or let him spark Zovlor out.
The
Either way,
human's eye
you can
twitches.
pickpocket whichever one gets
He's
knocked
about
out.
to blow.
You want to talk to Ethel. You want to talk to Arabella. You want to save Arabella in the Grove. You want to get that XP. If you've been following what we've been doing here step by step, you should proc level 3. Once you've spoken to Arabella's parents after saving her.
Yeah.
You want to talk to Nettie.
Her or Nettie.
Yeah.
It changes. It seems to change for me. It's weird. It's either her or Nettie.
Yeah, you want to talk to Nettie. You want to get those quests. You want to talk to Volo. You want to get the Whispering Promise. You want to stock up on some potions. You want to sell all the stuff, all the underwear you've been collecting so far. Yeah, as we say, just get yourself down there, get all the quests sorted, talk to everybody, get the Whispering Promise from Volo, and then we'll see you for getting the Titan String.